What is going on, traders? Welcome back to a brand new video. Celestin Capital here. This is weekly outlook for the week of 1-28, January 28th, 2024. We're going to go ahead and start with GCAD. On the weekly, we can see that GCAD tapped into a nice level. We have 171,500. It also pushed up last week into 172,100, but I'm more so looking at the 171,500 level. And you can see price, it looks like it's breaking down from there. If we take a look to the left a little bit, we can see that there's a daily level that price has respected. If we even move it over here, this is even nicer. So you can see price, boom, respect, 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 respect as support over here, support, and then we broke down below it. So what can we expect into the next week? What we can expect is, since we've broken down below that level, we can expect price to go ahead and retest that level as resistance. See if price wants to push to the upside, but I'm expecting price to hold this level as resistance now that we've broken below it. So coming into the week, we can look for some kind of setup within this area for price to absolutely tank. Let's see where we are. What's the next level we can go to? We can even come down to, let's say, somewhere over here, this 170, we'll say 500 level. So that's the plan for next week. As long as it doesn't come down here first, we'll look for price to retest to come down to here. And then from here, we'll see what we can do from there. On GU's in a tight spot as well. We can see on the weekly, GU tried to push above this 127, 500 level, but it could not. 127, 500, if you want to call it. It also tapped into this 128, 250 level. Tapped into it. You can see, boom, came back. This was a couple weeks ago. And you can see that it's holding now below 127, 500. As we scale down to the daily, there's a nice daily level right here that price tapped into. Daily level that price tapped into. The first couple of days of the week, it held below this 127, 100 level. Then the last couple of days, which was on Thursday or Wednesday, price pushed above and stayed above for a little bit. Then Friday, we broke below that level. So what can we expect now that we are below the level? We can expect the small retest, slight retest to continue the downside. If we go to the 4 hour, we'll take a look at some 4 hour zones. Yeah, this is the only zone we can anticipate for GU to tap into. So retest to absolutely fall to pretty much 126, 500. If we look at the daily, there's a couple of levels on the daily, but I don't want to mark those. We can see maybe some rejection from there, but ultimately, I think GU might make its way to 126, 500 this coming week. The NASDAQ, there aren't any daily zones on the NASDAQ right now, only 4 hour. NASDAQ has been an absolute bull run. On the 4 hour, we can see some kind of structure. On the daily, it's just bullish pushes to the upside. I expected a retest last week, but we did not get that. But on the 4 hour, we can see price creating some kind of structure. NASDAQ may not be in sight for me next week unless, we get very nice structure. Right now, we're caught in between a couple 4 hour zones. We're caught in between here, two, and we have one right here. I wouldn't really, I guess you could push this off and I guess bring it down here. So for the NASDAQ, you can see we're trading below, where are we? 17, let's say 17,430. And you can see price close below that. So what can we potentially expect? Retest for price to at least get to 17,350. 17,350 is what I'm expecting or anticipating for NASDAQ. I'm not expecting anything because anything can happen, but I'm anticipating for price to retest, come down here. And from there, that's where we will see what happens because we have a lot of imbalances on the NASDAQ. And without even looking at the charts, you could have guessed that NASDAQ has imbalances because it's just been pushing to the upside. Another imbalance right here. This one got filled in. These, we got a couple over here, down here, that could potentially get filled in. Now, not next week, because that'll be a crazy drop if NASDAQ fills in all of this. next week. But over the next couple of weeks, we can potentially see, especially if we break below this, if we break below 17,350, we can definitely expect NASDAQ to come and clear all of these imbalances and potentially retest 17,000. All right, potentially retest 17,000. Or I guess 16,970, if you want to call it that. But again, expecting price to drop to at least 13,450, 17,350, excuse me. And the last pair, gold. Gold. Look at the weekly on gold. We tapped into 2,650 a couple weeks ago, 2065 a couple weeks ago, and we've been pushing to the downside. The weekly is, if I'm gonna be honest, the weekly is bullish. The weekly does look good for buys. But as we scale down to lower time frame, the daily is pushing down. Right now, I'm gonna look for buys on gold. Still looking for buys on gold. But what we can potentially see is for gold to sell down to 2,500, just because on the 4-hour we are now trading below 2019.5. So you can definitely expect, especially with this huge bearish engulfing, we can definitely expect price to stay below, where's my drawing? All right, stay below 2019.5 and collapse to 2002.5. So that's what I'm looking on gold. I'm looking for shorts down to here, and we'll see what happens after that. Next week is NFP. NFP is next week, so we can definitely see a major move on gold and all USD pairs. Even on CAD pairs like GBP CAD, I think that usually moves with USD. So we can expect some major moves next week, especially with NFP. So yeah, that is it for the weekly outlook. Hopefully you guys are marking up your charts and getting ready for the next week. I will see you guys in the next video.